he started to talk to himself and hear voices. And we had to get him some kind of help because it wasn't normal.
I realized that I needed help because in 2006 I stopped taking my medication. And I was hospitalized, and within 1 year over like 7 to 8 times. So I had to accept that I really needed the help.
I used to be afraid to go anywhere that had stairs because I couldn't climb them. I would climb 2 stairs and then I'd have to stop because I couldn't breathe.
I overdosed on Halloween night. 24 years of vicious cycle of addiction every day, and overdosed, went to the hospital, and that's when I found treatment.
Losing my daughter 4 years ago to cancer, and then losing my stepdad like 2.5 years later, then losing my mother 18 months ago. And it really hurt when I lost my mother.
I have tons of stories to tell because they're all wonderful stories. Some of the most exciting to me is seeing somebody who's been living with a burden for 40 years. And then all of a sudden they realize that I can tell that story. People do want to hear it, and it makes a difference to tell that story. And once they tell it and they get healing, it's just such a change in their life.
I get to see folks that are coming in just asking for help, looking for help, and have no idea where they're going with that. And to some of those folks, I get to tell my story briefly and let them know that there is actually recovery, that you can move on, you can develop a really enjoyable life, and you can become productive again.
I had a resident who was being treated for deep depression and schizophrenia. When she returned back to our facility, she was more sociable. She engaged with the residents. She had some medication management as well, and she was just more happy, and being able to engage with the residents and in activities was awesome. And she not only was happy, but her loved ones as well.
We take for granted how easy it is for us to walk from one end of the room to the next. So to see a patient struggle with that so badly and then work with us for a couple weeks, and they're coming in and saying, I've worked in my garden for the first time in 2 years, and what a wonderful feeling it was.
When I see a newcomer come in, the hope and excitement that I get, it's funny, I was just in a meeting the other day and the kid shared, he had 1 day and that he had nothing to offer. I'm here to tell you, 1 day you have plenty to offer to the world.
So because we have such a short period of time to work with someone, we really are just seeing the initial kernels of that recovery experience. I would love to be able to follow patients outside the hospital and see that bloom a little further. But what we do get to see is, again, somebody coming from really that lowest point of just miserable and difficult times and not really understanding where to turn. And we get to at least get that process started. So you can kind of get things moving and then hopefully coordinate a really nice follow-up plan so that they can continue that recovery.
The folks that I have in group are from a lot of times a professional medical background and a corporate background. And so they bring a lot of experiences, and they're just fun a lot of times. So I get to see them in their very most vulnerable places a lot of times when they come into treatment, and then really get to connect with them and have a meaningful relationship with them that kind of grows and allows me to do a lot of work with them that for the first time perhaps they actually get seen for who they are.
So we really have fun. We laugh a lot, both just as a team but also with our patients, and seeing them grow and change is our gift in being here.
The people that we work with here sometimes are acutely sick, and there's not a lot of other help out there for them. And the fact that I get to play a small part in from the time that they come in to the time that they leave, from they're really sick to getting them out the door and they're really well and they get to be part of the community again, is what brings me here daily. I love that part of my job.
I think the inspiration that I derive from what I do and that keeps me involved in psychiatry and in medicine is the satisfaction of seeing your results. Oftentimes in psychiatry we don't see immediate results, but we certainly see long-term results in terms of the recovery and the well-being of our patients. I think there's a tremendous sense of satisfaction that comes from that, and that engenders a sense of passion that has kept me involved all these years.
But every time I do see a small success in these individuals, whether it's them being compliant with their medication or starting to realize that they need to go on the right path, it gives me a overwhelming feeling that my job is starting to be complete. And even if they don't say it verbally, that's kind of me recognizing that they're saying thank you for helping me.
One of the greatest things that I get to experience from time to time is a family that will call back in, or a patient that calls back in, say a month or so later, they're doing well, they're really thankful for what happened here in the hospital. That's absolutely the best part. That's what makes me feel good about the fact that we have put somebody on that path to recovery.
I'm inspired by the people when I help someone, and they say, well, Marvin, they'll come to me, they'll seek me out, and they'll say, well, can I talk to you for a second? If I talk to them a few minutes, and then they say, okay, thanks a lot, and they're happy about it. So that inspires me. And well, let me go see, someone else ask, and I can go talk to them, and it just inspires me to keep going along with my coworkers. When my coworkers come and they may need me, to help them out, assist them with something, so they inspire me to keep going. They make me happy to come to work.
If it's an individual that I've kind of spoken with over the phone, and then, because we speak to hundreds of people daily, and if they come in and then they recognize your voice, and it's kind of like, thank you so much for helping me. I mean, that's happened on a few occasions. And just to see that, you brought them some type of joy, and then knowing that they're going to get help. And, it's just a pleasure to see that you've played a part in that, and them being able to start a recovery process.
Somebody who has not been eating, starts to eat, or somebody who's really very manic starts to become like a normal person and starts saying things to you like, oh, can I go and clean up? Can I brush my teeth? There is this joy that comes in me as an individual. I feel that the work I'm doing is worthwhile. I feel that I'm helping somebody. I feel like I'm helping someone achieve maybe what they would love to achieve if they did not have a situation like a mental problem.
It allows me to be a lot more comfortable being at work knowing that he's okay. So, a lot of times, with my life, I still have to live my life, but I have to also take care of him just as well. But it gives me more comfortability knowing that my brother's being well taken care of by Diamond.
Don't judge people, because you don't know where they came from. You don't know why and where they are in life and how they got there. And just to set a legacy of, compassion and love.
I owe Farley my life. It done something for me that I could never do for myself. And I'll forever be grateful.
I think the simplest way to sum up how has my life changed, I'm here. I think that says it all. Came awfully close. Awfully close. Thanks. Sure.